continuing on with the tier list, which I filmed. I started filming this tier list for the Cobra Kai characters that I was doing, but then the video stopped because of my iPhone storage. So I'm just gonna take this episode off, take my talking about the Cobra Kai, taking my talking in this episode off from the start the episode off. Start the talking in this episode from where I was unfortunately cut off in the first video. So in the first video we were just talking about Devon, and then the iPhone cut me off because of lack of storage. But let's continue. So Una I put in there fine. I gave you a few reasons why in the other video, but yeah, the character, she's a good character. I like her a lot. I like her a lot. But yeah, so yeah, a decent, an okay character, not like super memorable, but not like super awful or super annoying. But yeah, like I was saying, like I said, I said in the last video, I liked her story arc in season 5. After losing that fight in season 4, moving to a different karate dojo, having that karate dojo taken over by Cobra Kai, having to join Cobra Kai because of it, learning, becoming a better karate, getting a better karate because of Cobra Kai, and then turning against Kim, that new villain of season 5, who we'll get to soon. And then saying to Sam, working with Tori against the Kim character, Kim something, I can't remember her full name. And then saying to Sam, go and save your brother. So she ended up, even though she was in Cobra Kai, she wasn't in Cobra Kai long enough to turn into what a person usually turns into when they join Cobra Kai, when they're in Cobra Kai for a long period of time. And because of that, she's not going to go any lower. Now, there's only 2 new characters introduced. There's only 3 new characters introduced in season 5. The rest of the characters in season 5 are characters from the past seasons. We are now on to one of the 3 new characters introduced in season 5, and it is the legacy character Mike Barnes, once again played by the same actor who played Mike Barnes in Karate Kid Part 3, which is a decent film. And Mike Barnes is an okay character. In this show, they completely ignore everything that happened in Karate Kid Part 3 and put him on the good side. Given that Kreese's legacy character, he came into Cobra Kai, stayed the same person he was in Cobra Kai. Terry Silver is a legacy character, comes in to Cobra Kai, is similar, is a bit different to what he was in Karate Kid 3, but then becomes the person he was in Karate Kid 3 later on. Chosen comes, and then Mike Barnes comes in, and they go from keeping Kreese and Terry Silver evil like they were in the original Karate Kid trilogy, to bringing back Mike Barnes where he's not the person he was 30 years ago. So it's very fun to see Mike Barnes in season 5. Mike Barnes would have gone in there fine, because I don't think he did enough to be put any higher. But after watching Karate Kid Part 3, knowing how much he's changed, he's going to go in characters I like. Next up is Kenny. Just a normal kid. Cobra Kai. Just normal kid. Cobra Kai turned him into a bad person. He ended up snapping out of it when obviously he found out the truth about Terry Silver. I'm gonna put Kenny. He's been in Cobra Kai just as long as Devon, but I think there's more to the character of Kenny than there is to the character of Devon. So I'm gonna put Kenny in characters I like. Okay, next up is Next up is, let's just do this in a random order. Next up, we'll go with Rosa, Miguel's grandma and Carmen's mum. Obviously, she's a side character, so she doesn't do much, but she's a good grandmother. She's a good grandmother to Miguel. She's a good mum to Carmen, so she's gonna go in there fine. Let's go for the final Miyagi-Do side character, but just like Nate, Chris and Mitch, he only deserves to go in there fine. If he was involved more in the series and was given more depth as a character, I'd put him in characters I like, because I do like certain aspects of Bert, but given he's a side character, those good aspects of him are never shown. So, and if those good aspects of him were shown, he'd be in characters I like, because I do generally like him as a character. Next up, let's go a character that's been in this series. Let's go to a character that's been in Cobra Kai from the beginning, and it is Sam's ex-boyfriend and Miguel's former tormentor, Kyler. I'm going to put Kyler in don't like them much. Two reasons. One, I've got no one in there yet, and he seems like the best person to put in there. And two, he's just not a great guy. He's just not a great guy. The best decision he made in his entire run so far in Cobra Kai was, throwing away the Cobra Kai man stuff at the end when he obviously found out the truth. That was the best thing he did all series. Other than that, he was a bully to Miguel. He was a bad boyfriend to Sam. Don't know how Sam didn't see through his facade when they were together. But I think now with Cobra Kai closed down, Kai will become a better character in the eventual season 6, which I think will definitely happen. So he goes there. Next up, let's go the character that was, a character who was reintroduced in season 5, who appeared in the Karate Kid, in the Karate Kid Part 3, and that is Jessica Andrews, played by Blake Lively's sister, Robin Lively. So yeah, like I said, Robin Lively's character Jessica Andrews was in the 3rd film. And in Cobra Kai Season 5, we find out that she's related to Daniel's wife, Amanda. So that was fun to know, to find out. It was fun to find out that. She had a short stint in the show. She only was in she was only in 2 scenes of Season 5. But those 2 scenes she was a really exciting character. So yeah, she goes in there fine. Okay, next up, let's go Louis. Louis. He's annoying, Louis. But for him to be the complete opposite of his cousin Daniel, I'm actually going to put him in characters I like, because he's completely different from his cousin, and I like that. Daniel it can be annoying. Daniel can be annoying and is not really funny. Can be annoying, and Louis the opposite. And doesn't really have humorous moments. Louis the opposite. He's annoying like Daniel, but he's got the funny element. So he's Daniel. He's his cousin Daniel. He's Daniel with that extra element of humor. He has some sort of Anoush. You are getting boosted up to characters alike alongside Louis, because Louis and Anoush come as a pair, and that's all that him and Anoush, Louis and Anoush will always come as a pair. So I'm gonna put them both in the characters I liked here. Next up, we're gonna do 2 at a time. Yasmin and Moon, who are both going in characters alike. I think their dynamics with their boyfriends I think Moon's dynamic with Hawk, with her boyfriend Hawk, and Yasmin's dynamic with her boyfriend Dimitri are very good. Both Moon and Yasmin are very well acted. But yeah, so they're good friends to Sam. They're not the bestest of friends to Sam, but they're good friends to Sam. Very well acted. Very good chemistry with their boyfriends, Dimitri and Hawk. So, characters alike. Speaking of Hawk, he's up next. Hawk is up next. Hawk is kind of obvious where he's going. He's going in. One of my favorites. And we might as well make the rest of these photos in the we might as well make these photos in the personal favourites tier a little bigger. As we're done with that tier, as we're you know, as we're wrapped up with that tier. We have no one else that's going to go in to that tier. So yeah, the personal favourites tier is locked in with... The personal favourites tier is locked in with Johnny, Miguel, Sam, Stingray, and Hawk. 5 of my favourite characters. Is there really any... I like Hawk as a character. His bromance with Dimitri, his romance with Moon, both great. But what puts Hawk above his girlfriend, his best friend, and his best friend's girlfriend is Hawk's got that friend element and relationship element with Dimitri and Moon. Eli is in personal favourites. Eli/Hawk is in personal favourites because he's well acted by Jacob Bertrand. I'm getting wrong. Jacob Tremblay's going to be Flounder in the live action remake of The Little Mermaid. Hawk/Eli is played well by Jacob Bertrand. And if you add his bad side, and if you add Eli's bad kick-ass side of Hawk, if you add Eli's Hawk side, Eli's badass Hawk side works really well with with Eli's. His sides work really well. The Eli side of of Jacob Bertrand's character, and the Hawk part of Jacob Bertrand's character combine together to make a really entertaining character who's changed a lot since season 1. Season 1 was a jerk because of Cobra, was being bullied. Went to Cobra Kai, became a jerk. Season 2 was still a jerk. Season 3 was still a jerk. By the end of season 3, he redeems. He fades out of the jerk spell he had in the first 3 in most of the first, in all of season 1, all of season 2, and most of season 3. Season 4, saving Dimitri from having his arm broken again. Season 4 didn't have much to do. Is the All Valley? Yes, that was because of it. Yes, mainly that was due to the injury that Miguel sustained, but still he won it, beating Robbie, which is difficult because Robbie is a good fighter. Hawk goes straight it. So based on all that stuff, season 5, he's one of the key ingredients to. He's one of the Hawk/Eli is one of the key ingredients to taking Cobra Kai down. He's the one who works with his Dimitri. He's the one without Hawk and Dimitri's help. Without Hawk and Dimitri, Tori and Sam's plan to take down Cobra Kai would have never worked. So Hawk